Hello, hello. You all thought I forgot about you, didn't you? Anyway, so I do apologize for the delay. Today was moving day. I'm not quite out of the space that we were living in, but today was all about boxes. Boxes everywhere. Woke up at 8:30 this morning and the U-Haul got here at 9. And I didn't stop until 5. Then I had to go to work between 5:30 and 7:30. It's been a crazy day for me. That's actually kind of why I'm wearing a beanie, because I look like a train wreck. Haven't had time to sit down in front of the camera today, so here I am. Hello, hello. If you're seeing this on Thursday, good morning. If you're seeing this on Wednesday evening, good evening. If you're seeing this Thursday afternoon, good afternoon. But I promise you guys, I did not forget about you. This has actually been on my mind today. I'm like, we don't have any chairs for the kitchen table. The kitchen table is covered in boxes and in other junk. There's not a good place for me to do any of this. So we're just going to have to make do with this. Moving is a pain in the ass. Oh my goodness. But anyway, moving on. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you had a wonderful Wednesday. We're going to take a look and see what is happening for your midweek energy. So as always, take what resonates, leave what does not. Your spirit guides are welcome here. Welcome in. Talk to my spirit guides. All the fun things. You know how this goes. But let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through for us for the midweek. What are we rocking with? What is it? Underneath, we have community. Okay. Community. Past energy, we have imagine. Okay. I'm literally using the piano. I've got like, yeah. And then future energy, we have not for you. I'm hearing the word friends. Which, sometimes happen with community. I mean, it's the people we surround ourselves with. I mean, especially in my day and age. My day and age. I'm only 29 years old. My day and age. That's coming from somewhere. Anyway, with me being me, and how I, do these things here, my friends are kind of my community. It's my tribe, the people I surround myself with. And, yes, family is great. But a community is a little bit more than just family, right? And the community that I rely on are my friends. I love my friends. So there's something here about friends. I'm not really a fan of the not for you. I'm not a fan of that. Which tells me that, there could be somebody here who shouldn't be in your circle. Shouldn't be in your circle. The chest pieces here makes me feel like it's kind of like a game, or they're playing a game with you. The imagine makes me feel kind of hopeful. Almost like you kind of gave them, the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if I split these, but I'm going to do it again. What do we have? Underneath we have the sage. Okay. Past energy, we have the underworld. In future energy, we have higher perspective. So I do feel like whatever this energy is, I do feel like you've kind of given this person the benefit of the doubt. And time again, or, I mean, hell, not even time and time again, but there's something about this that is impacting your energy that it's not sitting well. It's not sitting well with you. I feel as though you've been getting kind of rubbed the wrong way. Rubbed the wrong way with this energy, which, is something that you should probably heed. Something that you should listen to. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see if you show up or this other person shows up. It could be both. But I'm going to pull these a little bit differently, only because I don't really have the room. I'm going to pull these like I used to pull them when I first started doing this. I'm actually going to move this. I've got a pile of clothes right here. I'm going to move this. Oh, look, and a cat toy. Lovely. All right. Let's slide these down. Yeah, I'm going to pull these a little bit differently, like I used to. Not looking directly at you, but looking kind of at like the road that you're on, the energy that's flowing in and out. All right, let's see where we're going. What do we have? So underneath, we've got the Page of Cups. You can move those two. The Page of Cups, the Seven of Cups, gives me the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Give me one more, along with Justice. You may have had issues with this person in the past. If we're talking about friends, it could be a family friend, or somebody who feels like family. But I feel like, you know, they may have offered you an apology. Somebody who, it was, I'm also seeing an olive branch. Somebody who has come in who, you know, may have started off on the wrong foot with you, right? I'm just getting that energy of somebody that you kind of had an inkling of, like, you know, they just kind of, there was something about them you couldn't put your finger on, right? And it was kind of confusing, especially when, you know, they kind of put their best foot forward. Especially with that Seven of Cups, they kind of put their best foot forward here. And, you know, you were kind of feeling like this, kind of like you're towing a line here, kind of going back and forth with it. So let's see. This could be a warning. We're going to take a look. We're going to take a look. All right, Nine of Cups. Ooh, that glare is kind of horrible. Nine of Cups. Three of Cups. And the Five of Cups. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Four of Swords. And the Five of Swords. Okay. Ten of Cups. I'm going to slide these down just a little bit more. Need just a little bit more room. Ten of Cups. Queen of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles. You know, with the way that this shows up, I feel... Oh, there was the Knight of Pentacles underneath. A lesson. There's a lesson from this individual. I'm going to walk away with that Knight of Pentacles, too. I'm going to walk away with this one. I feel like this person was here to teach you a lesson. I don't feel as though it was about boundaries. At least I don't have the Seven of Wands here just yet. The Nine of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Five of Cups. That's a lot of cups in the past. Let me just start there. And I do have the Five of Pentacles here. It's almost like this person came in. Maybe you met this person through other friends, like different cliques in your friend group. But I don't like this combination. The Three of Cups and the Five of Cups. I don't like that because they look like they're having a good time, right? And this person over here is like, I'm not having a good time. Or this person came in and used you to have a good time and then you were left to pick up the mess, because here we have the Three of Cups and then here we have the Three of Cups. When I feel as though you yourself were just trying to have a good time. That I don't like that. And then, you know, you shifted here with the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the Five of Swords. I do feel like you walked away from this person. I feel like you outgrew this person, right? And the reason why I say that is because of the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. I do feel like you outgrew this person when you realized it was kind of like screw them or screw that person. I don't need them. And then the Ten of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. I do feel like you worked hard to get back to a place that, you know, didn't involve that clique, didn't involve that certain friend group. I do want to take a look at the Five of Cups. I don't know where I'm going to put the cards, but we're going to take a look. Let's slide those over. Clarify the Five of Cups. Chariot. Five of Wands. That's what I was looking for. Chariot, Five of Wands, Six of Swords. Oh, yeah. And the Two of Wands. Yeah, this person came in and caused discourse. I feel like you were well on your way here with the Chariot. You were well on your way. And then all of a sudden, I feel like conflict came out of nowhere with this person. It's almost like, I'm not going to say Mean Girls because I've never really seen Mean Girls, but it's almost kind of like somebody was nitpicking at you like the whole time, finding something negative to say about you, and then, you may have just kind of snapped. Or you could have been the sage, the diplomat, and walked away. Six of Swords, Two of Wands. Because in the past, we do have the underworld. I feel like this person was really just kind of dragging it down. This person was not good for you. And then you started a new cycle here with the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and the Five of Swords. This could be work people, because with the Ace of Pentacles, it could be old co-workers, right? And then you ended up either getting a new job or you moved away. Whatever the case may be, something physically English. Something physically changed that allowed you to heal, and it could very well have been the fact that you walked away from them, or they walked away from you because they realized that they could no longer nitpick at you. And see, and that's where I feel like this clarity comes in with this Queen of Swords. I feel like you understood that it was not you, it was them. Right? I hate people like that. I'm going to tell you right now, I am one of those people where, if I don't really have anything nice to say to somebody, I won't say it. But that's just how I was raised. I was raised that words hurt people, and out of anger, you can say things out of anger, but you can't take those things back once they're said. And I feel like this other individual kind of didn't care. This individual, these other individuals, I feel like they were just here to cause discourse. Tell me about, usually don't do this. Again, my main focus is usually you. But tell me about this other person. My cards did not like that. Seven of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Four of Cups. I feel like this person was here to show you, well, there's the Seven of Pentacles underneath. I feel like this person was kind of a catalyst for you of growth. And I know that sounds horrible. Because I would hate for somebody to show up in my life to cause discourse, to, make me be a better person. I absolutely would hate that. At the same time, I know that you, as an individual, probably would not put up with this again. Like, you would probably trust your first gut instinct, be like, nah, that person's not for me, and you would walk off. You learned something from them, right? Knight of Pentacles. You learned that when your gut tells you this is probably not a good person, to listen to that, right? So I do feel like this person was here to make you have better boundaries, especially when it comes to your friends. The people you surround yourself with are important people, right? I read somewhere, or somebody said something, so it's coming through as the people you surround yourself with are direct reflections of you, right? It's what you're willing to tolerate, it's what you're willing to surround yourself with. And I feel like this was not a good clique to have. It was not a good clique to have. And I feel like that's why this showed up. Four of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles. I feel like it was kind of like you were stuck in this one spot. See how you were kind of stuck in front of this building? And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, job done, learned my lesson, I'm going to move on. Um, that's people coming together, but in this particular instance, it feels like, it's like, okay, I now realize that I'm done with this space, I'm going to move on. And the Four of Cups comes in, and that's where I feel like this was kind of your intuition talking to you all along. For some of you, it was a lesson to listen to your intuition more. This is a, hey, this is not for you. So tell me about this Four of Swords. No. Tell me about this Queen of Swords. Tell me about this clarity. Temperance. Yeah. Where do I want to put these? Running out of room. Here. There we go. Gonna use more of the piano. The Queen of Swords, we have Temperance. The Raising Consciousness, which higher perspective, absolutely. We have the Knight of Cups. I feel like that's forgiveness. And underneath we forgiveness for yourself. Death and rebirth with the death card. Yeah, I feel like this person here was here to have you listen to your intuition, make better choices for yourself. Again, I hate the fact that this showed up this way because this fucking sucks. But, people go through this all the time. I had a friend who I used to hang out with, and don't get me wrong, like if we see each other, in the supermarket or, we see each other, passing by, we're like, hey, how are you? How's the family? We do catch up. But at the same time, we were kind of negative influences for one another. I was a teenager at one point, right? And so, I made the bad decisions. Okay, I made the bad decisions. I went to parties, which I probably shouldn't have been at. I did the things that normal teenagers do, right? And this individual didn't really get that through their teenage years, and now that they were adult, they were hanging out with, their kids' friends, and, we were all teenagers, and, they were kind of the cool parent, right? And eventually we realized, we just kind of branched off that, what we were doing, the partying, the drinking, was not something that we needed to be doing at that time. Okay? And so we became catalysts for one another's, right? They showed me that, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should, right? And they learned that, just because you missed out on doing these things doesn't necessarily mean that you're missing out on something bad. Let me say that correctly. Again, English is hard. I've had a very long day. Just because you missed out on those teenage things doesn't mean that those teenage things were good for you to experience. And, when we branched off away from one another, and this wasn't just, me and this individual, this was me and a group of people, and it ranged anywhere from, 19 to however old. But, it was a party, right? There were parties. It was fun. But at the same time, we learned those lessons, right? And so I don't want you guys to feel as though, this is just a you thing. That's why I'm telling you this, is because it's not just a you thing. It happens every day. It happens when people realize that, they've outgrown their friends. Not everybody wants to go to parties anymore. Not everybody wants to do the drinking thing or the smoking thing or the other bad things. Like, people grow up. People outgrow certain people. People outgrow certain cliques, and that's okay. And this individual, this certain type of situation was there to show you, that you can rely on yourself, that you can rely on your intuition, that not everybody is your friend. And, I'm not saying don't be friendly with everybody because that's a reflection of you. Always try and spread, good juju. I always try to spread good juju, even with the people who don't like me, which it kind of pisses them off just a little bit, but that's not the goal with all of them. Anyway, but the point is that I don't want this to make you bitter. I want this to make you better, right? And I feel like that's why this is here. That way you can surround yourself with the people who actually care about you, surround yourself with the people who actually lift you up and not nitpick at you or try to change you. Here on this channel, I want you guys to be your authentic selves. I'm my authentic self. I'm in a beanie, for crying out loud. I'm in a beanie in an empty room, sitting on a not made bed, talking to you guys. I want you to be your authentic selves, and I'm not saying that you weren't or aren't. What I'm saying is that the right people will find you for exactly who you are. They won't try to demean you. They won't try to degrade you. They won't nitpick at you. They're not going to use you. They're actually genuinely going to care. And so this is for the people who stumbled across someone or a group of people who were doing the opposite of what I just said a good friend should be doing. And that's hard. That's hard to realize. Again, it's kind of like the school bully. Oh, hey, you want to hang out with us? And then you show up to the birthday party and everybody starts laughing at you. It's like that. Don't take this personally. I feel like this was just a learning experience for you to be able to move, to be able to do better for yourself, to come in from the cold, to have that clarity. I don't think I've gotten a situation like this come through with my cards ever. But this was designed to help you grow into a better person. Not a bitter person, a better person. And to really listen to yourself. This is going to sound really bad too, before I let you guys go. This is actually kind of tragically beautiful. And I know some of you were like, are you on drugs? No, I'm not. And I'm not sleep deprived because I got enough sleep. But this catalyst, this person, this energy is turning you into a better human being in one way or the other. You're having better boundaries. You're listening to your intuition. You're going to be kind to yourself more than what this individual was. This is a way for you to heal, right? This is a way for you to heal. And I'm not saying you should go thank that person. I'm not saying that. However, I do feel like the growth soon will reflect that. You're like, without that person, showing me what a friend shouldn't be, I would know what a true friend is. Now again, we all know on this channel I spread love and light, and it's not toxic by any means, but I also want you to know that I'm kind of an asshole. I am. And, I would thank that person. But that's just me. Again, I'm not telling you to go thank that person. But that's just me. I would go thank that person because they made me better. They made me better. And would they get it? No. Would they think I'm crazy? Absolutely. And would they get pissed off because their little plan of dragging me down and making me feel worthless didn't work? Absolutely. But again, that's just me. That's just how I've always been. And again, I'm not saying do that. I don't want anybody to get in trouble and be like, well, Ollie, the tarot reader on Facebook, told me. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let this transform you into a better person. All right? All right. And fuck them. Okay, okay. Zodiac signs that I see, we do not have any royal sets here. We do have going from left to right and top to bottom because, again, that's all wonky here. We do have Libra. We have Sag, Scorpio, Cancer. Is that it? I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Now, just because it didn't call your zodiac does not mean that this is not for you. It could fall into part of your chart, or if this resonated for you, absolutely, then it's for you. It doesn't always have to be based off a zodiac. All right. One more time, Libra, Sag, Scorpio, Cancer. Or if this resonated for you. But guys, this is what I have for you for your Wednesday, late Wednesday evening, early Thursday morning. Whenever time you see this, this is for you. Okay? All right. But guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'm sure we'll be back in this space again, probably on Friday. So bear with me as I go through the moving, boxing everything up and the whole nine. But as always, thank you guys very much for joining me. I thank your spirit guides for joining me as well. Your guys' company is always well appreciated. If this resonated for you, please leave a like, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And I will see you all again later. Bye for now, guys.